Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, Twitch. My name is organMike, and I will be your host for this next run here on Speedrun Ragnarok 2021, put on by the RPG Valkyries, a group of female and femme-leaning speedrunners who love RPGs and run them exceptionally well. And this marathon is being done in support of Take This, a mental health charity which provides education and support and destigmatization, all very important things. This run is the game Child of Light, and Caeshura is here to give us a fantastic and highly skilled playthrough of this beautiful game. Caeshura, I'm going to turn it over to you. Would you care to take the floor?
Oh, great. Thanks for setting the bar really high there. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and konnichiwa, everyone. I am Caeshura. Japanese listening no minasan, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. And I am joined here with my arch rival, my lovely commentator, Takaze. As it happens, both of us are super rusty on this run, may not remember much, but are also the top two runners of this run. Takaze, you want to say hi?
Good morning.
So thank you everybody for the understanding of poor Palmer's PS2 and for having me with this emergency Child of Light run. I am going to be running... Oh, go ahead, Takaze.
I was just gonna say it's gonna
be great. I'm not gonna choke anywhere at all. It's gonna be cool. So I am going to be running a new game, Any Percent. We played on casual, Mike, what color dress do we get to have?
Well, we had a donation incentive bid war for that, and we are having a blue dress this morning.
Okay, cool. So just so you all know, Princess of the Wind is blue, but if I wrote the actual dress names, nobody's gonna know what color is what. So, blue it is. All right. Well, I'm ready whenever you all are ready. So, shall I count us in? I'm not sure who's pressing start on the timer. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh wait, no. Go. Okay, there we go. I forgot there's another thing. I'm already choking. It's cool. So, Takaze, remind me again, who made Child of Light?
So it is developed by Ubisoft Montreal, makers of such games like Assassin's Creed. Very, very similar to Child of Light.
Yeah. The arts. Yeah, I see the art style. It's like the same, right?
Right, exactly the same. I actually think that's like really, really cool. It's like this kind of cute little almost like side project that they did. It's a short RPG. And I kind of wish that more AAA game studios would just do this kind of stuff, like they don't have to make these big grandiose games all the time. They can do this sort of stuff too, and this is great.
Yeah, absolutely. And Assassin's Creed is super cool, but I would love to have I don't know, even just like a DLC pack where we get an extra dungeon in Child of Light. I would play the heck out of it. I have played something like 350 or 400 hours in this game, speedrunning it alone, really. And even now to this day, I can't find a game I like speedrunning as much as I really did Child of Light. So, yeah. Well, I guess TLDR of the story here, we died, but we also woke up. And that's where we're starting here. So I'm going to be able to fly here in a little bit, but for the time being, I'm going to do some bunny hops because, jumping is faster unless it's not, and then you're just sad.
So, and if no one's familiar with the game, like all of the artwork is like kind of beautifully drawn. The music is gorgeous, and you might notice that everything is in rhyme. For the most part, there's one particular character that is particularly bad at it. But it's meant to be very fairy tale like in that sense. So we have the main character Aurora, a princess of Austria, who lives with her father. Her mother had passed away some time ago, and something happened. Yeah, she died, and she woke up in this strange, unknown land.
Yeah, like Aurora caught like a cold or something. We're not really sure.
Yeah, so now she just wants to make her way back home.
Mm-hmm.
And these, I mean, supposedly for being rusty, Caeshura is doing a good job at the timing of these jumps. It could be a little challenging.
Yeah.
If you do it too early, too late.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to say that a lot of this is really muscle memory. So for those of you who feel like you're not doing your speed run as well as you like really want to, I encourage you to just slow down and like train your muscles to do those things that you need them to do, because that was one of the things that really helped me kind of get good at this run. I still was never really as good in menus as Takaze, but Takaze practiced a lot, so.
Yeah, that's probably a lot of time can be saved in menus. And one thing that particularly as RPG speedrunners, that you start to pick up on is the how good different games menus are. And this game has beautiful menus. They're very responsive, very and then you go play some other games, it's like, oh man, this game feels so slow.
Yeah, the menus are really, I love the menus here. So we kind of didn't talk too much about some of the other characters we already have, but we have this little firefly thing called Igniculus, and we'll talk shortly about several of the things Igniculus can do for us in the game. But one of them, which we're going to see here in a moment, is that Igniculus can slow monsters in battle, and you will see here just a moment that the battle system is very much like Grandia.
Yeah, so there's like, you'll see an ATB bar down at the bottom, and on the bar you'll see every character's kind of place in turn, including the enemies. And you have the wait section, and then when you get up to the cast section, you take your action. Different actions have a different quote-unquote cast time. And there's interruption. So if you are trying to, if you're inside the cast part of the bar and you get hit by something, for the most part, you're going to get interrupted, and you're going to get shoved back on the bar. So a lot of the game tends to be managing that ATB bar, us making sure we get the actions in we want to, us interrupting enemies at particular points, and during some fights you're actually trying to avoid interrupting. Bad things can happen in some fights if you interrupt the boss a little bit too much.
Well, I hear that this is actually a remake of Ocarina of Time, but I thought I'd let Palmer know that the title and stuff still says that it is a different game here.
Oh yeah, I thought we were commentary.
Ocarina
of Time.
Oh, so, sorry, Link, and actually, now I'm thinking about it, we do have Aurora, who is basically Link, and we have Igniculus, who's basically Navi. This is Ocarina of Time.
Totally. Hey, listen.
What? Look out. Takaze!
So you notice that Iniculus moving around the little like firefly or ball of light icon. So that's actually being controlled. It's being controlled by Caeshura, and if you're playing on PC, you're controlling Aurora with your keyboard typically, and then Nicholas is being controlled by your mouse. If you're playing with a controller, it's left joystick, right joystick type of thing. So outside of battle, you can use it to kind of interact with the world. Nicholas can shine itself on enemies to kind of distract them and allow you to walk past enemies without triggering a battle. On an inside battle, you can interact with enemies, typically most often done by kind of distracting the enemy, and that will slow their ATB generation.
All right, so we're coming up to my nemesis, box jump.
Yeah, it's the first real, I guess you could say, trick of the game. So it's a very small, I guess you could say, sequence break. So you're intended to take this box kind of through certain parts of the, like, down to the bottom right here, to be able to jump over to the area off to the right, hit a switch, and that will make this elevator go up and down. So instead, what Caeshura is going to try to do is they're going to take the box and push it to the ledge, that upper ledge there, and if it placed just right, and if have the jumps quite right, then you can kind of skip that section. And it's pretty, the timing is pretty challenging because you have to just get it right.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I just want to point out that yesterday when I did this, I got a second try. I think the box might not be close enough, but I also think that it actually is, and if I push it more, it's gonna... Well, Mike, while I'm trying to do this, you got any donations? I might need... Nope. Okay.
I actually do, if you'd like to hear one.
Yes, RPG sad. Perfect time. You got like 20 seconds.
We have a donation from RBW, saying, or a $10 donation from RBW saying, a replacement run by our favorite K, guaranteed to make everyone's day. May Aurora surmount this terrible abyss, and I'll help by donating to take this.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
And I only realized about halfway through that was in rhyme. And you may or may not have heard, but I have a nice echoey, boomy space here, so if you want something read out in dramatic fashion, by all means, donate.
It's amazing.
Yeah, any and all donations should be submitted in rhyme.
Yep. And just for the Japanese restream, Teku shikujita kanoshii wa. I really thought I would be able to get that, and then, well, it's okay. Box jump has typically been my nemesis. Something about it, I've never been able to really do it well. So that was a source of many resets. So we're coming up on like the first boss here, but first we have to break some stained glass.
And I had a couple points during the run. There's going to be some light-based puzzles that you solve with Nicholas. So this one has some stained glass thing that you're trying to complete the portrait by lighting up these crystals of their corresponding color.
Mm-hmm. And most of the light puzzles you can actually solve very easily and very quickly by just knowing where to place your mouse. As you can see, I have lost that particular part of my muscle memory.
So the first boss is just these two statues. They are weak to the light element, which Aurora does have the Starlight spell. A little bit of healing on one of them, so it's going to be a little bit of extra damage. But the idea is to keep the back one occupied and kill it quickly with a couple of Starlights. This Caeshura is picking up these flower things to get a little bit of extra MP.
Oops. Oh man. I'm good.
Something happened.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that was totally just because you interrupted. one down, and now just
The one to go.
Yep, and it tends to be a lot easier to handle these fights once you only have one thing to interrupt, and you can notice Caeshura is kind of bouncing it constantly back and forth. It's a good ETB management there.
Yeah. And this boss and the next boss as well don't have... Well, the next boss kind of does, but not as bad. Oh, hold on. I'm going to stop talking and actually focus on trying to get these skips.
Ah, yes. There's some cutscene skips. The really only... there's not a ton of... There's quite a few cutscenes, not a ton, and there's not too many that we can skip. But these first two are a little bit longer, and it does save time to skip them. And you can do so just by closing out of the game at a particular point.
Ooh, I think that might have been early. We're about to find out.
That looked okay to me. I guess we'll find out, though.
Yeah, I feel like, oh, okay. It's doing that thing where when I close the game, this is fun. It's gonna mess up the sound, so just give me it's all right. I'm also filling up the time for the block. Yeah, so momentarily silence, but I promise the sound will come back in just a moment. Apparently when you close the game, yeah, okay, it was early. When you close the game, apparently Windows defaults back to the default sound, but it's not actually the default sound because I'm telling it to go to the thing. Oh, I see that the Japanese restream is talking about the inconspicuous setup block that we have after this run, which is Ninja percent. Hmm.
Ninja is my favorite number.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now that's it. So basically what needs to happen is the whiteout after that kind of load into the cutscene needs to happen, but you don't it's not necessarily a sound cue so much as a visual cue, but it's also if you don't wait for the sound, it can be hard to time. I'm sorry that the mashing sounds are not as amazing as they could be. That's my only regret.
I very much enjoy the mashing. So the nice thing about the text mashing is that you can use multiple buttons to do it. So you can use the keyboard, you can use the mouse.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
I know it's not a donation, but we have a comment in chat from Royal Blue Wizard as well. Shall I read it?
You may.
Kay, please don't tell me that you forgot. When you run this, I'll rhyme more often than not. It's not Child of Light without speaking in verse, though I find it difficult to remain terse. Thank you, RBW.
RBW is not terse. Who is this person you're talking about? So I'm picking up these chests basically because I'm waiting to get the flute, which you may or may not have noticed very briefly in the menu pop-up, but if you didn't, that's fine, because that means I'm going fast! That basically tells the game to move on to the next scene, and if we don't get the flute, it's like a little brief soft block. Now here I'm picking up like our next character called Rubella. Casually I used Rubella throughout the entire game basically, but sadly we only use her for a really small handful of extremely important key moments in the game.
Hey, you completed an action.
I completed an action. Ubisoft has like the built-in achievements and stuff.
Yeah.
So
and if you play in offline mode, it doesn't know whether or not you have it. So like it often just says, instead of saying here's the achievement that you completed, oftentimes it's like, I don't know what you did, but you did something. Congratulations.
Yeah, and part of the reason we play in offline mode is because Ubisoft does have also for Child of Light. I don't know if this is the same for other games, but for Child of Light, it's got extra like bonuses where you can get in-game items for completing achievements. So I already have a bunch of those actually from from the DLC for the dress. So it wouldn't really make a difference because even if I were to somehow beat Takaze's world record at this time, I would be invalid because it's yeah, hold on.
So for each character, they kind of have their own, I guess you could call it like skill tree of sorts. And in terms of equipment, there's not a traditional like equipment system. So instead, you're crafting these gems, these oculi, that do various different things, and putting them in like equipment slots.
Yeah, and technically, these gems, it's not part of actually this boss battle, but because of, like I mentioned, the DLC, I know that I have these extra ones, so I am just going to utilize them because it's a speed run. I'm going to go fast. You paid for the DLC to be used, and now I'm using it to its full potential.
So in this fight, much like the first fight, we want to take care of extra enemy. Ooh, quite a bit of damage on Aurora right at the start. That's no good. So 2 Starlights and a whack from Rubella will take care of one of these wolves.
Or 2 whacks and a Starlight, either one.
We're bringing out the poets in chat, apparently.
Nice.
Have I time to read another?
Yeah.
We'll do one after another one after the fight.
Sounds good.
So now I'm basically going to be balancing beating up this ogre while slowing it down enough that it doesn't get many, if any, turns off. In theory, Aurora could hit the dust, so to speak, and it would be okay, but even if she doesn't, it's fine.
Yeah, so this part is really where you're like just managing a lot of the ATB bar. Caeshura is doing quite a good job at it. Just interrupt
It's fine.
after interrupt.
Yeah. Of course, any action by the ogre here is no good because extra frames takes time. But alas, and Aurora didn't take a nap here. But even if a character falls in battle, when the battle ends, it is completely fine because they just wake up in time to get the EXP. I'm glad I practiced this section just a little bit yesterday before I went to bed because I realized that I didn't really remember where to go.
You say that, and now I'm trying to be like, oh, yeah, I think I forgot. It's like kind of a maze of sorts.
Yeah. So we have another skip that's popping up soon. How come Beyond the Beyond isn't playing? That's a great question. Hey, Palmer. What happened to your PlayStation? Okay, it's a long, sad story. Yeah, Beyond the Beyond is just beyond stream. Yep.
It's a very moving experience, that one.
All right, so at this point, this is probably like our first and not too many actual glitches in the game, but ooh, there's a bunch of weird stuff happening on screen.
Yeah.
So essentially what Caeshura is trying to do here, and we'll see in a second if it worked. It looked okay on my screen.
Yeah,
but,
I think it's okay.
So you get to this new town, you talk to this new character, Finn. Finn wants you to save his town by going into the well, and he joins your party while you're in the well. But then when you leave the well, he won't join you until you finish this little side
Okay.
quest.
Whew.
So it sounds like, yes, that sounds like we're looking good.
Yep.
So essentially, what Caeshura did there
Hi,
was start the cutscene, initiate the conversation, start to move inside the well, and you actually see Finn's left behind there, but it's okay. Finn's in our party. Just trust us. And at the end of the cutscene, Finn joins your party, and you're intended to move into the well at that point. And Caeshura, at the same time that's happened, kind of entered the start menu, and after the conversation has ended, teleports away using like a fast travel system to a different point to kind of save the game at that point outside of the well while Finn is in your party. Closing out of the game, opening the game back up, you are where you teleported. Finn is in your party, and as long as you don't go back into the well, Finn will remain in your party because Finn will only leave your party when you leave the well. So we kind of duped him to join the party with us without helping his family and his town.
Yeah, and it's possible to do this, but the reason that we need to close out of the game is because the game is set. Oops, I haven't gotten this cutscene in a long time. Because the game is set up into sections of the map where there are, I think, 3 or 4 sections of the map where you can be, and if you are in one section of the map where there is a cutscene on another area of that section, it will return you to that cutscene, basically. Oh, hey, it's my sister!
What is she doing here?
It's weird.
Yeah,
Nora,
so
what are you doing here? Oh, they
Aurora
took you
has
to
a couple of stepsisters. So we run into one of them, and they're like, "Oh, we're here too. Yeah, I guess we'll try to just find a way home, because Aurora's goal here is still to get home. I guess we forgot to talk about the old lady during those cutscenes that we skipped. What she was telling us to do.
Sun and the moon and the stars and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I guess I'll help you, but really all I'm trying to do is get home. Okay, old lady."
It's true. So we make some jokes that Aurora is related to Will from Illusion of Gaia because she's a jerk and her flute has magical powers that bewitch people. Where Will's flute just catches people on fire, but it's basically the same.
Whenever Aurora plays her flute, some character's just like, okay, I guess I'll join you.
I think I missed the antidotes, and well, that's okay. Hopefully I won't need them.
I'll be fine.
It's fine. This is one of my favorite sections of the game, and we really don't get to spend much time in it. It's a city full of mice. They're traders, and they're on top of this big mountain that moves. But turns out Nora doesn't like mice. She thinks they're gross.
Nora is quite rude to them.
Pretty sure Will's flute is also his dad. Well, I mean, we got our flute from our mom, so...
Whoa, excuse me? That old lady?
Yeah. Oh. What?
What?
I don't... What?
Spoiler? Was that a spoiler? That wasn't a spoiler.
No. No, I mean, it was our mom's flute, but she gave it to that old lady is what I mean.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
save.
We will, if you are interested in playing this game blind without ever knowing any of the spoilers, I suggest you probably leave now.
I mean, that's kind of like a speedrun
Yeah.
given.
Yeah.
We'll be giving brief lore updates
Yep.
throughout the story whenever we remember to do so. So yeah, that earlier in the game you kind of saw this walking giant moving in the background. That's Magna, and Magna's like, hey, you know what? I'm not doing too hot. You want to get up to this floating island thing? Sure, I'll help you, but you need to go inside me and fix my heart. So I guess we're gonna play Operation or something.
Yep. I mean, Aurora's a kid still, so she likes to play, board games. I mean, who doesn't like to play Operation, first of all, because it's still kind of cool.
And we have a new character who is one of those mice named Robert.
Yep. Robert is also a trader.
So we go inside Magna, and oh no, spiders!
Oh, spitters! Out of the goodness of Robert's heart, he is just helping us. Yep. That's it.
Definitely not just motivated by money.
Yep. So I am jumping back here just to surprise the spider and also remember what path I'm supposed to go down on Robert's skill tree. And then I'm going to give Robert some skills as well as Nora. That was almost bad because I probably would have went straight down that. And then I'm also going to give Robert a piece of candy here because he needs to poke things hard. Okay.
So putting those oculi on the weapon slot, quote unquote, changes elements of stuff of your attacks, but it also gives a little bit of a damage boost. So there's going to be 3 sets of these spider fights, and each one of them is going to get a little bit easier as you kind of power up throughout the thing. And really what you're trying to do is just get attacks off as quickly as you can. Nora is kind of like a debuffer of sorts, so has some capabilities of slowing. Just makes the enemies move a little bit slower on the ATB bar. And hasting, so we're going to buff up Robert, and Robert's kind of standard attack is just being able to hit everything, which is just great for this section. And trying to get as many interrupts as possible, and leading about 5 attacks to kill these spiders.
Grid.
You're trying to. Unfortunately, sometimes you get interrupted, which I guess is really.
There are like actual techniques and like stuff that I super don't remember that make this fight a little bit easier or more consistent and stuff. But yeah, we'll take what we got here.
It can be a little random because whenever you enter a fight, you're not sure who is going to, like, the ATB isn't kind of static, I guess you could say. So
yeah,
you're not sure which,
at least, right?
and you're not sure which of your party members kind of starts first. So there's different strategies depending on kind of what order you get and kind of where the enemies kind of are in their ATB bar. But it's a lot of it is very much on the fly thinking. You just have to kind of adapt to the ever-changing battle.
I'm gonna, normally level people up a little bit more, but I'm actually going to level up Nora and Robert there just a bit because, I can't remember if I'm supposed to surprise strike this one as well, but that's what I did.
Yeah, and just coming in from behind them to distract them with Funiculus, coming from behind allows you to kind of consistently get these surprise attacks. Nice critical.
And there's also like this kind of interesting like aggro system, kind of. Not always, but most of the time the enemies will attack the character who took the last action. So, yeah. Knowing that that's a thing sometimes is helpful. Also, Robert dodges a lot. And now I'm slow. That's cool. I'll just make myself fast again. It's alright.
And much like in other games, if you have a haste-like effect, it will cancel any slow-like effects, but if you get a slow-like effect cast on you, I use the haste-like effect.
I have an action fleet.
Nice.
Yeah, so Mike, what's up with like the marathon? What's the incentives and things? Can I win any prizes?
You know, honestly, I don't actually know about the prizes, but I know there are some. I can put a link to them in the chat. Otherwise, we haven't had any donations for a bit. And perhaps we have some new viewers, but I do have a nice big space to read donations in. Incentives coming up, I believe, were all met at the moment, other than for upcoming bid wars.
Interesting. Well, hey, chat, do you like to hear people sing? Because hearing that all of the incentives are met, I am probably going to unlock the last 2 incentives, and one of them is a little expensive, but you can hear people sing.
Hearing people sing is a good time.
So yeah, Robert here actually decides to finally tell us the truth. He just wants to unlock this vault because he's trying to win the heart of some lovely mouse. And like that's super rude. We could leave him here, but Robert's super important, so we're gonna, you know, do the thing.
Yeah, pretty much every character is kind of optional. You don't have to pick them up to.
Except for Nora.
Yeah, well.
Nora forces herself into our party. I mean, but she's our sister. Long that lasts. Yeah, well, she is our sister, right? So she's got to come back home with us.
Right. No pressure.
Nope. What? There's no spoilers here. I don't know what you're talking about.
So we open up the chest, or the vault's super complicated password that literally a child was able to solve.
Yep.
And Robert left our party for a little bit and then joined our party. And now we're back, killing spiders.
Back, killing spiders. Our life now, killing spiders. I swear there's some tech where we can avoid getting hit by spiders, but I don't remember what it is. But we got a crit. That's nice.
I think those are the things that I would tell myself to try to feel like I had some control over the situation.
Oh. Control over spiders, though, really?
I can't control spiders in real life, so.
Yo, can you control spiders? My cat does not like her new food and will meow at me every morning, telling me that her food bowl is empty, but there is indeed food in there. It's just not the flavor she wants. The current commentator is Takase! Takase, what can I see on your streams?
Oh man, you definitely stream. That is a thing. I do the streams.
Yeah, I totally do as well. Definitely. So yeah. Anyway, we're gonna level up some more, put some skill points in here. I am going to take a very specific route with Finn because not that lightning is the strongest, but there's this passive upgrade to Finn's magic that we get by going down the lightning path, so we're gonna give him that. I'm also gonna make some pretty jewels here that increase my magic and stuff.
Yeah, so you can combine like color oculi to kind of create stronger versions of them. You just mash gems together and they turn into a bigger gem. That's how it works. And then you can take certain combinations of different colored oculi to turn it into a different oculi. So the Onyx here gives a little bit of a boost to spell power, which we're going to equip to Finn, who is just essentially a spellcaster. And then some tourmaline gives a little bit of a magic boost.
Okay.
And now we had 3 rounds of small spiders, and now we have 1 round of big mama spider.
Big spood. I think I might have not.
Big spider.
Big spider. I think I might not have done what I needed to do, which was slow the spider. So I opted to let the spider go. I don't want to interrupt this boss because it goes fast if I interrupt it.
Yeah, so this is the point where enemies will start doing things if you interrupt them. And this one's particularly annoying if you interrupt the mama spider. She will react by casting Quicken All. So haste 2 essentially. So we want to keep these spiders slowed. So we don't want to interrupt. We're going to take care of the small spiders kind of in front with our 2 characters that have the ability to just kind of whack everything.
Good skill.
And then you kind of notice that the big spider isn't taking a ton of physical damage.
Bottom spider has dodged twice now.
That is 3 times 2.
Yeah. But look at this. Suddenly, that spider is going to take more damage. Boop. I'm gonna bring out Aurora and make Finn a little bit stronger since booping stronger with attacks is good. So yeah, most of the bosses and enemies have either a weakness to magic or physical damage more so than the other. I literally did not think I would need to use this skill. Oh no, I don't know if actually this does anything after it doesn't. Cool.
Yeah, that's actually old strats I used to do would be to pop out the Bella and use ailment protection, which is kind of like protects you from ailments. Okay, I'm good at this commentary thing. So to hopefully, like if Finn happens to get paralyzed here, which is kind of the worst thing that can happen in a fight, and it's really rare.
Also, this is the next worst thing. I'm not doing anything bad here.
Yeah, there's that interrupt, and you can see the speed difference of the spider. Popping out Aurora here, just throw a slow potion at it. And continuing to lob lightning attacks.
Yeah, and you'll see that I'm using Igniculus's other potential... Oh no. Oops. This is fine.
This is fine. This is fine.
This is fine.
I would say it totally should have gone first. Sometimes there's weird scenarios with like both the enemy and you like get to the taskbar at the same time. And never really sure how it resolves that.
Yep. Flip of the coin. I don't know. Micropixels things. Okay. I am going to focus on not mashing too much so that I can try and get this cutscene skip.
Yeah, this is quote-unquote newer tech. So kind of towards the tail end of us running this game.
I mashed too much. That's cool.
There's like a single frame, quote-unquote. Like there's some amount of time where in between the conversation and in between the cutscene starting, you can press you can pause. And if you can pause, you can teleport away. So the idea is that you're just mashing the escape key in hopes that you happen to hit that magic frame, so you can skip this cutscene.
It's really open. Yeah, it's really easy to open it, but if you're mashing too much, you close the menu.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of since we're watching the cutscene, Rob told the mouse he's into that he's rich now, and Lady Mouse was like, you just think money's everything, bye. And Robert said, so what we do is we play our flute for him, and Robert decides to join our party again.
I mean, you cured his sadness.
Yeah, the pain is not nearly as strong. Okay. Oh wait, do I actually need to talk to him again? I think I need to talk to him again. Oh, no I don't. Okay, it's fine. I haven't seen this cutscene in a long time.
Yeah, I used to do that too. It's like, how does this work? What?
Yep.
There are certain story triggers that I have to hit.
Yep.
So with the spiders, we successfully performed surgery on a giant, removed the spiders. So now Magna's doing pretty okay, and is now a mode of travel for us. So Magna is going to kind of lift us up to carry us up to this floating island where we want to go. There's some mirror up there, and we hear Nora.
Takai!
Supposedly it will take us home.
Yep, that's what our sister said anyway. They said that she said that the people who brought her here dragged her through that mirror. So we're gonna go up there and check it. There's some cool stuff through here that we're just going to completely skip. So yeah, I recommend you play this game. It's cute, and also I'm going the wrong way and getting caught in waterfalls and winds and things. Yeah, you can really just get through this without any problem, but only if you really know where you're going. So
And these areas are a lot bigger than Caeshura is making them out to be. So there's a lot of nooks and crannies to find stuff, a lot of extra enemies, a lot of extra treasures, a lot of these side bosses of sorts. But we just go from point A to point B.
Finn's got this Onyx Oculi on. I am going to remove that and put it on Aurora because it gives some modicum of magic damage that we want in this fight.
Yeah, this is probably one of the more challenging fights. There's a very specific strat that is really tricky to pull off. Another case of interrupting stuff is really, really bad. This time, if we interrupt the Griffin, it is going to cast a lull on us, so it's the slow all ability. And that's not great.
Yeah, but you can see what I'm going to do is, ooh, I got the rare counterattack from physical. But you see what I'm going to do here is just slow it back. Take that!
Aha. So that's actually part of the strat, to intentionally interrupt it at the very start. It just kind of sets, it gets everything into position. And we're going to quickly swap out party members, put in Aurora. Aurora's going to be the powerhouse of this fight, doing a lot of damage to these Banshee-type enemies.
I think they're both going to gather strength, so this is fine, because they were going the same speed. Ordinarily, I wanted her to go first, but I didn't want her to interrupt or get interrupted by Griffin. But knowing that Griffin gathered strength here is really important for me to know, because that means that Griffin might poke me hard. And Aurora is squishy. Also, these two Banshees also gathered strength, so yeah, that hurt.
Ow. Oh no. Oh no. This is...
Ooh, yep. It's fine.
Yep. Well, Aurora doesn't have a ton of HP despite her best efforts. And unfortunately, everything just decided to hit her.
Yeah, and Griffin's gather strength there with the fiery wings or whatever. That's an AoE attack, so I knew it was going to hit her either way. Yeah.
We do have plenty of potions and sword, but of course using potions and stuff takes turns, and taking turns not killing things means the fight takes longer.
I don't really know what I want to do here.
Probably safe to...
I'm just gonna do this. Taking the moment to defend here. Aurora is fast. It doesn't really matter if we interrupt the, I think Griffin is gathering strength. Nope. That's fine. It doesn't really matter if we interrupt these banshees here, but I really want to finally put them gone because they've been hurting me, and yeah, this is just one of those fights that if you don't really get the ATB control correct, it just goes downhill real fast. I think what I'm gonna do here is bring out Robert. I'm going to oof myself. I'm going to hope that Griffin doesn't revive things.
I completely forgot that Griffin could do that. That's like the ultimate move. But with the banshees removed from the battle, you notice that Griffin wasn't taking a ton of magic damage, so we switch out to Robert and start using Robert's special ability Hinder. Which both slows as well as just does some good physical damage. As Robert right now is kind of our strongest physical damage dealer. And the Hinder is nice too.
I used the wrong potion, and at this point I'm just going to roll with the punches. Every turn that Griffin has is a turn that Griffin can potentially revive the ads, and that means I have to kill them again. So I just don't want Griffin to have more turns if possible.
Yeah, even if you do kill Griffin and the banshees are still out, the fight doesn't end until everything is dead.
That was a shaky fight, but not dangerous in the way that, and no boss is really run-ending, just time-consuming. One of the cool things is that you kind of teleport back to the area just before the boss, so... oh, hey! Why is this fountain talking? That's weird. So we skipped a cutscene that would kind of give you context about this basin in Finn's side quest. Turns out our dad is, sick. And also, it's flooding in Austria? Stuff's weird.
Yeah, so it just is further incentive for Aurora wanting to come home because she wants to get back to her father. So she has more and more motivation as the story goes on to just go home. And Nora is saying, "It's okay, Aurora. We're almost home."
Yep. So our party members leave, including Igniculus. Aurora's letting us know that basically it's almost there. Hey, why is this chest here? Okay, well, yeah, it's almost the end of the game, so that's fine. Alright, there's the mirror. We're basically home. Aurora, go through. The magic mirror is home. Yep. Okay, so we are at home, finally. Yeah. Wait, why are we flying? We can't fly in Austria.
Yeah, and this doesn't look like Austria. But we trust our sister. She would never betray us.
Oh, hey, it's our other stepsister and our stepmom! Nice! We are home! Nandato! It's the sudden and inevitable betrayal! Nani?
Who could have seen that coming?
Turns out, our stepmother is the Queen of Darkness, Umbra. And our stepsisters are not nice. It's like we're the red-headed stepsister. Oh, wait.
I mean, you do have red hair. I mean, if you went with another dress, we wouldn't have red hair.
Yeah, that's true.
So, cutscene, flashback. This is Aurora's biological mother. And some additional context kind of for what happens here. So you notice that Umbra, tried to kill off Aurora with some scary magic, but she was protected by something.
Yep. And I believe that even at this point in the game, Umbra tells us that it's because of the crown we have on our head, who we were given that by our father. We jump away like two or three skips, and suddenly our mother is like collapsed on this tree, and she's just like, my heart!
Tired.
Oh, my heart! Mama, stop! You're turning blue! No, this evil will come after you. And then she basically somehow pleads to something that the Guardians of Lemuria protect Aurora. Wait, what? How does our mom know about Lemuria? That's weird. Yep. If mortal harm befall her, bring her to your altar. And that is where, and actually if you check on the map, it's called altar or something. That's where we kind of woke up earlier. That's so weird. What?
So if you're able to put 2 and 2 together, it wasn't just a simple cold or something that, quote unquote killed Aurora. It was probably Umbra casting some sort of spell to kill off Aurora, but her mother had her real mother had cast a spell on her to kind of protect her in that case and bring her to Lemuria.
Yep. And we can basically guess from that it was also Umbra who killed our mother somehow. So Aurora plays her flute again, who we now know, like I said, our mother gave to that old lady. And this guard who picked us up earlier, who's completely in shadow as we approach him and he disappears, lets us know that he recognizes the song and that he'll help us out here. I'm going to grab these potions over here because they are just extra safe.
While you're grabbing...
Go ahead.
Pardon me. While you're grabbing potions, we've had a donation come in. We have $5 from Helva with no comment, but thank you for your $5.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, comments are not necessary unless you're doing a bid war. Please comment. Any donation is money for Take This, and that is super great. So our party members join us back. That's weird. Where's Finn? Oenga's son. Yeah, it's Oenga's son.
Due to the shenanigans that we did earlier with how we got Finn into our party, he never officially was a party member. We just kind of told him to join us, and he didn't say no.
I think that's... Oh, wait. Okay, no, it did work. It just... that was weird, because it looked like it didn't work, but then it actually did. Okay, somehow... There are... the way the screen scrolls in this game, you can grab stuff that's slightly, off-screen-ish. Oops, didn't mean to run into that. But, if you are in an area or a spot that the screen scrolls a little bit more, then it can cause you not to be able to grab stuff with Igniculus. Oh wait! Oh no! Oengus left our party! Okay, we have to help the people out. You know what? Actually, no. Never mind. This is a speed run. I am going to leave Oengus. Other people's burdens are not my own. Peace, Oengus. See you. Oh wait, Takaze, can I beat this without him? Never mind. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, Wengus
reset
is
the
pretty good. You should probably, you know.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna
close
reset
out the
run.
game. You just read the. Yep. Let's just restart the whole thing.
Yep. Weird. Oingus is in my party. Never mind. We can continue. Now I need to figure out which way I'm going. It's this way. So we're going to take the taunt path. Yeah, Oengus didn't just leave our party. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, this is more of some of those shenanigans with the save feature, basically. Where, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we're basically like kind of abusing the way the autosave works. It will save like location, but doesn't always save other parts of the game. So we leave the Oengus side quest, and the last time it had saved before that was like, you know, you going into that area. Oengus was in your party. We leave, he joins the party, and then we trigger another cutscene or autosave, close out of the game, and then we're back to where we just autosaved from, but it still remembered that Oengus was in our party from when we had screen transitioned. So kind of the same concept with Finn as with Oengus, kind of skipping doing their side quests, but still getting them to join our party. And Nicholas is, or Oengus is it's kind of the physical fighter type class. He has like threat generating abilities to force things to hit him, and he just does a ton of physical damage. So this is what happens when your sisters get mad at you, right? They turn into these big, scary dragons. I don't have, I don't have sisters that do this, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, and Cordelia or is one of those. Yeah, that's what I said. Is one of those bosses we do not want to interrupt. Not.
So its counterattack ability is healing everything, and these ghost enemy things are really obnoxious. They do a lot of physical damage. So having Oengus kind of up in front using taunt lets us protect Aurora, so she can dish out a ton of damage with light attacks, and they happen to be weak to those light-based attacks.
And I crit the top one, which for some reason, was it 100 or 200 extra HP that it has for whatever reason?
Yeah, I want to say it's 160, but I also, that's just a random number that I probably pulled up. For whatever reason, despite being the same enemy, like the top one has more HP than the bottom one. So it's that's nice.
I'd just like to say a welcome to our raiding party.
Oh.
Welcome, raiders. I am able to count to 3.
That's what you have to remember with Oengus. The taunt will last 2 turns, so you kind of taunt, 2 turns later, taunt again, and it's really, really important to keep the taunt up 100% of the time.
I am going to heal Oengus again. Also, I can just hit this one here. Oh no, I'm paralyzed. Well, that's not fun.
Actually, if that happens early on, I particularly like it because it essentially just makes taunt last longer.
And also, it's really not a big deal because Oengus was slowed anyway, so I'm okay with that.
You notice it actually removes the slow.
Yep, and I am going to do this. And basically continue to slow Cordelia, and just wail on her.
And at this point, it's just another managing the ATB bar. You don't really want to interrupt Cordelia / Persephone a ton, but you might choose to just to prevent her from getting hit. The heal isn't a ton,
really get any crits from Moangus or Robert, which is rare, actually, because both of them have a really high crit chance. I will give you, Mike, just a moment, a chance to tell the raiders who we are and what we're doing. But first, let's watch this cutscene where our sister gives us the moon. And yeah, we've taken it in our hand, and moon clashes make up. And then suddenly we're a teenager. All right, Mike, go.
All right, welcome Raiders. This is Speedrun Ragnarok 2021, a speedrunning marathon being put on by the RPG Valkyries, who are an inclusive group of female and femme-leading speedrunners who all love and run RPGs. If you'd like to join the Discord, they have a Discord. We can use !Discord for the link in the chat. The Discord is open to all people and all genders, and the run is being put on in support of Take This, which is a mental health nonprofit whose main mission is to inform the gaming community about mental health issues, provide education on different disorders and prevention techniques, and reduce the overall stigma around mental illness. So, if you would like to support us, please do. We have links for donations in the chat. We have links for Discord if you want to join the group. And if you want to just enjoy this wonderful speedrun and watch along, you can help by sharing it with your friends and family, and just by watching, you're helping us out. So thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I'm watching the Japanese restream comments, and I got the...
Sailor Moon.
Oh no, someone made the pun, oh, Nora. And also, Adorto of Light. Thank you, Japanese Restream.
We can change the title of the stream.
Yeah, thank you, Japanese Restream. You are all lovely. Whew. So this is, I think, without a doubt, the best character. Maybe not battle-wise, but just in general, the best character. Gen, and sadly, we will leave Gen here. It's a bit dangerous where we're going.
Yeah, I love Gen. It's unfortunate that you get her so late into the game, and unfortunately, there's no to get her to join your party. You basically just have to progress through the game and then go back to her.
Yeah.
And going back just takes time. And I'm sorry again. I love you.
Again,
but,
we love you.
We're just gonna move forward.
So I am going so fast here that Ignakilis and I are going to have two conversations at once. One's about leaving, and then the other's about Roman numerals. So.
And if you're wondering, it's well, isn't this supposed to be some fantasy land? Why are there Roman numerals? So I believe in lore, Lemuria is was a fictitious land, kind of like Atlantis for the Romans. So there is relation there.
I actually missed this
it makes sense,
chest over here, and I need it. And then from here, I'm gonna try and where's it? Okay, there we go. I got it. So yeah, I kind of cheese that puzzle just a little bit by moving the Roman numeral 5 just enough that I can reach the thing. I don't think I need to give her anything, but I gave it to her anyway. All right, and then we're going to change out some oculi here. I'm going to give the little thing to the little onyx to Finn, and then also give Oengus and Aurora some more stardust. Do I have full HP? It's not a big deal, but I just like to check because it's not like I'm going super duper fast anyway, so you know. All right, and so here's yet another boss.
This fight is kind of going to be a refight. So none of the bosses, at least none of the non-named bosses, have names. So we usually call the first giant just giant, and this thing's an ogre. but that's
This
just
one's
names that we
special
came up
though
with.
because you can soft lock the
No,
game.
don't say it. Don't. It's not gonna happen.
I already said it. You can soft lock the game. It is possible. It's also really special.
Yeah, so we've been talking about different types of interrupt actions that enemies can do. There's a particular weird scenario where Robert interrupts the giant thing in the back in a particular way. It counters with soft lock. That's definitely what happens.
Yeah. I don't think either of us can really explain it very well, but basically somehow Robert gets paralyzed. And at a time that he's basically right there at the beginning of the cast bar or something, and is paralyzed, so can't take an action, but
it wants him to take an action.
Yeah, but it's his turn. And I believe I was the one who discovered this because I have had the special benefit of basically discovering anything and everything that can go wrong in this run. Wow. Yo-Yo is chastising my luck. I could have and should have probably done a hit on everything there, and this is gonna hurt. Is Oingus dead? No, Oingus is not dead. Yeah, alright, but now that Oingus is fallen, now is a great time for donations, Mike. Donate everything.
I'm sure it is. Unfortunately, I don't have any to read.
What?
There have been no donations since the last one.
What?
I think I should probably post a link in the chat so that people know where to go.
There's no donations? Oh no. Do I not have life potions? I don't know why I did that. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. It's been so long, I just didn't know what it looked like anymore.
Yeah, the items are always in the same order, so sometimes you just quickly pass it and it's like, wait, where?
Where?
So at this point, again, just switching up the damage that we're doing, killing the ads with magic damage. They're not particularly, they took quite a bit of damage from Finn's lightning magic, and switching up to our 2 physical damage dealing characters to finish off this ogre giant thing.
Nice crit. So yeah, Oingus was supposed, I think, anyway. Oh no! No, we're good. I was thinking about strength potions, which basically increase my damage, but no, Oingus isn't supposed to necessarily have one. I just... down at Griffin, Takaze and I take a very slightly different route, where I pick up a chest with 3 strength potions, and Takaze picks up a chest with 2. I guess I was never really good enough to tell you whether or not Takaze's slight detour and my slight detour are faster. Yeah.
It seems that there has been some response to your sadness. Zelo, and this time I got the name right, has donated $5 to say, one more donation just so Mike has something to read. Also, Mike is still awesome and love you all.
So I'm just running through here, picking up some stuff. I'm not going to use that. I don't need that that piece of paper, but I'm picking it up anyway. I am going the wrong way. Bonk. All's good. I haven't practiced this part of the game, so this is special. Speedrun? What's that? So there is this another basin here where Laura is going to check out the progress of her father. Looks like Austria is getting completely flooded, and our dad's dying. Oh dear. Well, in response to that, I'm going to go up this secret path, and hey, look at that chest. So I need to wait basically for the cutscene to finish before I can pick up this chest, but now that we have it, I'm going to quickly do menus and things.
having 6, even though we have to wait a little bit, having the 6 Onyx is very good. Onyx again gives us extra spell damage, and that's great to have because spell damage is good.
Yep. And then I also got Tumbled Emeralds, which is great. This is going to give me electric damage. So, yeah, I'm going to give this to Aurora. She's got the diamond, which makes her a little bit faster. I'm going to give a big onyx to Finn. Oh, also, actually, I have another small amethyst. I'm going to give a big ruby to Oengus and the faceted emerald to Robert. I am also going to give Finn some more MP because his MP is squishy, and then the rest of the Stardust, as usual, will go to Aurora and Oengus. This is actually a difficult battle, even though when I first started speedrunning this, it was actually one of the easiest battles, and then as I got better with the speedrun, it actually became one of the most difficult battles.
Yeah, it's a tricky fight, and I really looked a long time to try to be able to skip this fight, and it's almost possible, but not quite. So we have 2 different enemy types to deal with. One of those ghosts that we saw in the second one fight, and then this annoying gargoyle statue thing. So we have to switch up the damage types that we're doing. Aurora can take care of the banshee ghost thingy, and then we're gonna have Oengus take care of the statue thing up front.
Yep. And that is why we gave the statue Oengus basically the ruby, so that he can do that fire damage. And unlike most boss fights, you will notice that there is only 2 flowers with which I can... Ouch! I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah, sometimes things can crit you with like a 1 or 2% chance. And Oengus is the big beefy tank, and he nearly just got one shot. Okay, both ads down, kind of getting the situation back in order. Switching out to Finn. So we call this enemy Leviathan or Sahagin. It doesn't really have a name, but it's a fish, and fish don't like lightning, and Finn is good at lightning.
And also, for whatever reason, this fish doesn't have like a reaction to being interrupted.
Yeah, so unlike the last couple fights where we say interrupting is bad because they will counterattack those interruptions, we want to interrupt this thing as much as possible because it has, as you saw from that pitch earlier, has very, very hard-hitting attacks, and we have our 2 squishiest characters out front. And this is the amount of damage that Finn is doing, so pumping him up with magic boosting stats, as well his passive ability on the lightning tree that give him just straight up more damage, combined with dealing double damage from hitting something that it is vulnerable to.
Mm-hmm. And if Finn basically would do a crit, which is normally I would say for every crit that Finn and Aurora do, I would do a donation, but I have donated my max amount so far for this marathon, so sadly I am not able to do that. Also, I wasn't planning on running, otherwise I would have said that, but but if he does a crit, which is not often, oops, I don't want to go there, over here, then he will do basically like 1,000 damage, so it is a big number, and Finn and Aurora basically do a lot of damage.
And speaking of donations, I have 2 here. If this is a good time. All right.
Yeah, while I'm trying to remember how this light puzzle works.
All right, I'll let you do that, and I will highlight a donation from Caront, a $10 donation, and we have a little poem. So, I see you're playing Child of Light. It's quite a pleasure to my sight. The game, I think, is pretty great. That's my thought, at any rate. You're also awesome, I would say. I wish you all a lovely day.
Nice.
Mike is a little echoey in the chat. Yeah, I'm in a church. I think that I don't know how many times I had to explain that at this point, but we also have a donation from the Altar Maven, $15. No donation comment. This needs to be rectified. There's not much time left, peeps, so let's try and get the goal met. This goes to the FF14 team being all DPS or the dubstep flavor. So yes, this is one of the things you can do with your donation. You can put it towards a bid war incentive to control various things that the runners will be doing in upcoming runs. I will put a link towards the incentives in the chat.
Okay, sure, just making their way through these traps and stuff, trying to take as little damage as possible because bonking on a spike is just a little slow.
Okay. So,
Made it through.
Our sister, who we called Nora, is actually named Nox, which is short for noxious. I'm gonna make that joke every time.
Yeah, so she has some poisonous gas. Not noxious, poisonous. Toxic, even.
Yep. Our
so...
sister's flatulence is just...
So you just have to make your way over to each of these switches as quickly as you can. You notice that Aurora is kind of slowly taking damage. It's not anything that we have to worry about because we go fast.
This is one of those spots in the game where you basically learn that you can game over on the overworld. When you die in a battle, or basically all of your characters run out of all of their HP, you just teleport back to basically the last autosave. But if you lose all of your HP on the overworld, you do game over. Nice. Alright. So...
And we're coming up on the final 2 bosses.
Yep.
Making your way through these spikes and the gas, kind of everybody almost getting to their end of their skill tree.
And since we're coming up on the end of the run, this is also coming up on the end of my hosting duties, which means that if you want to hear me make use of this wonderful acoustic, now would be a great time to donate.
For no good reason whatsoever, I'm basically giving Finn and Oengus better oculi. I also gave Robert. Did I say Finn? Not Finn. Oengus and Robert. Anyway. Oh, I think I gave the wrong. It's okay. It'll be fine. I also gave.
For Aurora, yes.
Yes, it's all right. Aurora will... Ooh, actually, I need to heal just a little bit more. I also gave Robert a big emerald. Or sorry, I gave Robert and Oengus big sapphires to keep from taking too much damage here.
You upset your sister again. She turns into a big, scary dragon. This time a water dragon. And water dragons deal water damage. Instead of having like 2 enemies, like 2 different enemies that you have to deal with, you have to deal with your sister's tentacles. So, starting off the fight much like any other one, dealing with the things up at the front.
I realized what I did wrong here. That's the first thing. Okay, I got it eventually. I don't want to interrupt my sister, though. She casts Unstoppable. It's not great. I might interrupt her, though.
It's not having Unstoppable isn't the worst thing ever, because by the time it becomes relevant, especially once the tentacles are dead, you're gonna notice that Nox isn't gonna do anything probably.
Hopefully, anyway. We're not getting the best RNG for that right now. But yeah, because not having Unstoppable right now just means that Oengus and Robert are going to take more damage. Wait, am I supposed to be hitting these with Finn or with...
No, hitting them with these two.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
We played this game before.
Definitely. Okay. This is fine. This is super okay. Yep. Fine. All good.
Sapphires are actually coming quite in handy.
Nope.
Devastation. So now switching up to the casters up in front. Things that are in the water take a lot of damage from lightning damage. That's how it works. And Finn has a bunch of lightning attacks. Hopefully we get to see some crits. That would be great because Finn just does a truck of damage.
Yep.
That is not a crit. That is still a lot of damage.
When there's a good time, there's a donation come in, but no rush.
Sure, go ahead.
We have $10 from Margaret Ann saying, acoustics are good for ghosts and spoopy month. Woo! Anyway, okay, you've done so much for this marathon and being so fantastic and keeping us in line and on task. You are so appreciated, friendo. Put this towards runner's choice. Less than 3.
What are the upcoming big wars?
That's a good question. And I do actually have an answer. That's not just me leaving that open. I'm just have to click on things. Let's see. We've got choosing the music for the final level of Katamari Forever. We have choosing the roles for Final Fantasy XIV. Picking a starter for Azure Dreams. Choosing a costume for Chicory, A Colorful Tale. Choosing a character gender for the Legend of Mana Remaster, and choosing sprites for Final Fantasy VI Beyond Chaos. We also have naming bid wars.
Cool! I'm not going to tell you what I want right now, but finally! So, our sister is not playing nice today. Although, I guess Gathering Strength is not playing nice either. Nox has this really strong move that she can use when she gathers strength, but it's really slow to charge.
Basically, she spends 5 minutes charging up her laser.
And she did it right at the end of the run. So, yeah, basically slower because she's also taking turns, but,
Ideally, you want her to, as soon as the tentacles are down, you want her to gather strength there, and then you can slow her enough that she never gets anything else off. So you don't have to deal with healing yourself, you don't have to deal with waiting for attacks, and you just dish out a ton of damage.
This is literally, I think, my favorite lines in the game. You belligerent, bellicose brat. Fortunate you are. I am merciful stepdaughter. Give me the moon and the stars, and I will let you go home to father. So she pulls up the mirror. Dad finally sees us, and he's like, oh no, I'm gonna die. My daughter Aurora, good. And then he passes away. But after he passes away, the crown we got from him disappears because that's how crowns work. They're not physical. They are completely linked to the soul of the giver. Umbra attacks us, and with our last strength, we grab the sun and fall into the water that flows up. Oh no.
Magic.
Wait. But we've died again. Well, I guess that's the end of the run. Yeah, Mike, tell us a little bit more about what's going on, because I guess I'm gonna have to reset this game and figure out what we're gonna do.
Well, this is Speedrun Ragnarok 2021, a speedrun marathon put on by the RPG Valkyries, a group of female and femme-leading inclusive speedrunners, specifically who love role-playing games and who run them exceedingly well, as we are seeing. And it's being done in support of Take This, a mental health nonprofit, and among other things helps people in the gaming community suffering from mental illness by letting them know they're not alone in their struggles and there are treatment options out there to help. So it's a wonderful cause, it's a wonderful marathon, it's full of wonderful people. I've been having a wonderful time. And also, I do have a donation for that cause if there is still time to read it.
Absolutely, you've got a ton of time. It's literally the longest cutscene in the game.
Beautiful. Well, we have $20 from Nat, who says, "Thank you for this run, Caeshura and Takaze. My kid wants Mike to say Bakugan Brawl, so I think I'll take a deep breath and do just that. Bakugan Brawl!" Thank you. I hope I didn't peek there, Palmer.
It was a little peaky, but it's fine.
Sometimes you have to go beyond good taste.
So in this cutscene, so Aurora died again. If you remember her mother's spell, if harm befall her, bring her to your altar. We got brought back to the altar again. This time, her mother is the one playing the flute and gathering all the Lemurians around. You're supposed to kind of see everybody that you've helped, but you kind of notice that where's Finn? Where's Oangus? They're in our party. We never actually help them. So they're not really in our party, but they're in our party. So if you had picked up everybody, you would kind of see like a full cast here. And it would be very touching.
Yep.
But yeah, we duped them so they didn't show up.
Yep. So with the party's Genki Dama, which is like the opposite of actually how a Genki Dama works. It's like reverse Genki Dama. But we revive. We also saw that the old lady was our mom. Margaret promises Robert a date, and we're gonna go fight the last boss. There is like some kind of skip somewhere, some abouts where, or like open the menu.
Yeah, it's a little bit slower. It's like the safer, slower strat where you can skip part of the cutscene. You have to close out of the game like we saw before, and it gives you the option to do some menuing before the final boss. Otherwise, you go straight from the cutscene to this final boss cutscene. So we had two of our stepsisters turn into big scary dragons when we fought them. What does our stepmother have in store for us? She is a bigger, scarier dragon.
Yeah, Mike, I don't know how old your daughter is, but one of my coworkers' daughters loved it, and basically she would play with her mom, but only during like the parts she could move and like the battles and like stuff that she would make her mom do. All right, I am going to be quiet because this is a tough battle.
The music's really good for the final boss. We only get to hear it this time. These birds up in the front are jerks. Prey for no prey. They have an attack called Prey that sets you back, and it hits everything. And if they do it a bunch, it is not great. So we pray for no prey.
I think the back one is Prey.
Yeah, you can kind of tell what they're about to do based on how quickly they move. So you see those setbacks. It's quite a bit of damage. Umbra kind of is a buffer of sorts, so she's going to try to keep the birds alive, and we're going to try to kill the birds. They take extra damage from light stuff, but because we didn't do that cutscene skip thing, we didn't get a time to switch around our inventory at all.
Oh no, I do that where we give Oangus the light thing for our fight.
Yeah, you know what? I do that too, now that I remember.
Yeah. But I give the, and it's if you have it, because you don't always get one, I give the emerald to Robert instead. bringing out Aurora just to buff Oengus here. She has a really, with her maxed out, wow, that dodge, but also that crit. She has a maxed out damage increase, so it does
30%.
Yep.
More damage. And that's before like applying, kind of like before applying some stuff. It's a lot of extra damage. And yeah, you remember Oengus's are like hardest hitting physical damage to the character, so his attacks are hitting quite hard. He can hit everything for like 1,000 damage. And we didn't even take time to like do any special leveling up. The only optional fights that we took in this speedrun were the 2 crickets at the very start of the game. Everything else has just been a boss rush. So one jerk bird down. Switching out to Aurora. Oh god.
But and also a little
Yeah,
also a little painful. But yeah, it's fine. All's fine. If you're trying to get world record, this fight's tough. If you're gonna go slow in a speedrun at the point that it kind of falls apart, it's just okay to go slower.
I think we've both had a number of times coming into this fight on PB pace, and then just it doesn't like it's not like you can lose the run or anything, but like it's just slow enough where it's like, dang, I lost that. Oh yeah, and the revives can happen. Not the worst thing ever, but it's really obnoxious because those birds are obnoxious. But they don't revive at full HP, and Oengus is kind of already out here, so you just kind of keep dealing damage to Umbra, and those annoying jerk birds.
Yeah, and Umbra, when she buffs, when you interrupt her, she does a buff for gaining strength, basically, and, well, we don't really care about that too much. It is slower to interrupt her, but also not that bad. I ran out of MP on Aurora, and instead of giving her more MP, I'm choosing to just bring out Finn. Hope that he doesn't get interrupted. Oh no, she's unstoppable.
Someone stop her.
But you can't! Tomelarina! Oh no, she's dead! I stopped her! Alright, time is when the screen turns white. I'll tell you when to poke that timer. Hopefully you were ready to tell you that. It's the end of the run after all. And time.
GG.
Well done.
What was my time? I'm curious. What's my time? Someone tell me my time.
I see a 134.
Oof. I went over estimate. That's okay. I'm rusty.
It was worth it to see more of this beautiful game.
So, with Umbra down, Aurora and her companions go to Austria and rescue the people on the island where Aurora lived.
But Aurora resurrected.
And they bring them through the mirror to, get them away from the flooding because it's dangerous.
Aurora and her friends led the people up the castle tower. They entered to an empty room. The water lapped at their feet. No way out except to drown. Their doom they were sure to meet. But of course Aurora smiled. Before their eyes, astonished said, to a mirror she led them, and
Magic
they
mirror.
stepped through it instead.
Magic mirror.
From that day onward in Austria, only a small island remained.
And then here at the last scene with Aurora and her friends, we actually see a couple of people that we didn't pick up, like again, and Oh, no, just Gen. Wait, why isn't Rubella's brother there?
That's a
I
good
don't want
question.
Yeah.
I don't think I've noticed that. Yeah, Rubella has a brother that we kind of ignore.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that was Child of Light. Thanks everybody for being here, for all the support. We still have plenty of stuff going on in the marathon left, so I hope that you will enjoy today and tomorrow. I will be unlocking the last incentives shortly, but we also want to remind you that we have prize unlocking incentives for when we go over the goal. So please, everybody, as far as it is possible for you and your wallet, support Take This. They are a nonprofit, so any money we give them is super duper helpful. That being said, I want to thank Takaze for waking up super early to join me. I think this is my first marathon run where Takaze has joined me for commentary, so I feel like it's almost like a little dream come true, because I've always really wanted to run Child of Light in a marathon with Takaze on couch, so...
I'm happy to do it. Anytime.
So. So as far as Child of Light goes, it's a super easy, small speedrun. Even your first run might take 2.5 hours, just depending on the prep you've done and put into it. If you want to join the Child of Light speedrunning community, we're not very big, but all of us are really super happy to help and help you get a time that you're happy with. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Caeshura, for showing us this beautiful game. I'm very impressed with it. I really liked it, and I'm serious. I may actually pick this up, and I think my daughter turns 4 next week, so maybe a bit. Yeah, she'll certainly love the pretty artworks and whatnot.
Yeah, you can do funny voices and talk to her in rhymes.
Funny voices, I say. Me? No, anyway, this has been an absolute blast. Thank you for having me. I guess at this point, unless you guys have anything more to add, we'll throw it back to the restreamer, and I will bid farewell and thank you all for letting me join you on this wonderful journey. I'll be watching from the sidelines for the rest of the marathon.
Yeah, and thanks to both Fant and I going a little overestimate, the inconspicuous setup block was indeed inconspicuous. What's coming up next, Mike?
Next, we have Verts505 running Odalus the Dark Call, 100% normal glitchless. So that should be really interesting.
Great. And my last little joke for Japanese restream before I sign off. 影薄いセットアップブロックがなんと空気みたいなものだったな. Alright, we'll see you all later. Thanks again for having me, and I'll see you for the finale.
Have a good day.
Maybe some other stuff.
Cheers.